So let's see how much wins this guy get. And I'm a better player than him. Yeah, so I'm a better player than this guy.
Okay, so there you go, folks. We have now finished Foot Chats. Hey, we got 12 wins. Let's just get an applause emoji in there. Better than Dick and the Anus, guys. Not 14. I am Dick the 14. Benjamin says, oh, well, that's more than 11. Yeah! Okay, I've got 11 wins. So we've got the 3 players. We've got some decent stuff there. We've got some decent stuff. It's just not really. We've got campaign teams there as well. It's not what we wanted, but bit of XP. We take it, there you go, final reward. What is this, by the way? I was watching cameras. What is that? I got that from my chicken. What is it? What's the point of that thing? Anybody know? What does that do?
So I can hear as soon as soon as as soon as they can see this is live. This is happening now. Yeah, it's live now. Started 2 hours ago. Yeah, but anyway, this guy had. He said he had 12 wins, innit? And I can't even win a game. And anybody see me and him play would think, how is he getting more wins than me? And then go out there and say, oh, he's jealous, innit? I'm jealous. Am I the jealous one, or you man just concentrate? Don't like to see foreigners succeed in this country. Find me one immigrant in this country at a very high level in yours in the British society. Just one. I mean, and one immigrant who is a CEO of fucking anything in this bitch. I mean, I'd like to see that myself. Prove me wrong, police. And show me one powerful position where any immigrant sits in this bitch. No, I hate it, but don't like you, man. Trust me, I will attack you. Because I've got all the evidence I need to attack you, but and then you have to go out there and put in your courtroom and say, well, you people do these things. It's quite simple, and I know you don't want that in that courtroom. I mean, I can't win what you're proposing, you man try to do in the head. And trust me, I'm gonna use that to my fucking advantage and attack you for it. So you have to say, well, we did do that. And we did fuck him up and fuck up his game and fuck up everything he does. And let him have to sit down and watch British people progress and succeed. And really, yeah, we was allowed to fester. We knew exactly what was going to come, but we didn't think we were going to be a target. We thought it would have just targeted the community. And then we could have convinced the community that what they were saying about him the whole time was true. But unfortunately, the little cunt was a bit more clever than we actually thought and realized. But by the time we realized that it was actually too late because he started to target us. So now we got to come into the courtroom and admit that yes, we did do this to him. And given the nature of the system and how it deployed itself, it obviously wasn't the first time. The people who we have done this to, they're not in any capable position of being a witness because who's not in the grave is fucking in some hospital now, drugged to the high heavens. Well, guess what? This is what we do. It's okay. That's funny. Alright. So, I'm gonna set these guys up for what they've done. Just like they set me up, I'm gonna set them up. And trust me, your setups are mine. These guys set you up with the intent to put you through court. I set them up with the intent to make them look stupid. I know they could never bring it in court anyway. I mean, I'm very sure of that. That they could never bring this to court because it would only them who would suffer for the embarrassment beyond them. And they'd have to have black people come forward and say we agree. Asians have to come forward and say we agree. That's the only way it won't look racist. And can they go that far? I say well, everybody agree. And who told everybody in the first place? Quite a complicated situation, isn't it? Mm. Whenever this started, that's when it started like a week ago. Only 8 wins, and I got 4 of them 8 wins tonight, I believe. Yeah, in this foot champ, 4 of them. So only 8 wins. Where is it now? So win 8, 11 wins. Yeah, I got 4 of them 11 in this weekend's foot champ. So the last time I had 7. Yeah, so it must have started last week. So I had 7. So in basically 20 games, 30 games, I've only had 11 wins in 30 games. That's madness. It's just been attacking, but like full blooded, like absolute all out, man. All out. Not telling you to be afraid, yeah, it's just telling you exactly how it is. It isn't meant to drive fear or intimidate anyone. It's just telling you exactly what I'm going to do if I see you. Dislike you, but really do. Go out there and say, oh, you're trying to intimidate us. Well, it's because you would only feel like that because you're a coward. It's the only reason why you'd use that term and say, oh, you're trying to intimidate us. And we will not be intimidated. Yeah. Then why hide? Then why hide? Being called all sort of names reference to you all the time. You're looking around the room saying, oh, I don't know who he's talking about. What is he talking about? Talking about you, bitch. That's hilarious. I don't rate these guys. Why are you trying to intimidate you? You're sympathize if I say I'm attacking. So what you did was attacking me, and it was set up for the courtrooms, the prosecutors, for everybody to deny or diminish the fact of what they did. That's what it was set up for. It was meant to cover up what they did and make it overtly blatant or appear to be blatant. I attacked them. And it's some hate crime against white people and gays and Jews of Britain. That's what it's all meant to look like. Because they are simply led to believe they're smarter than everybody else. And that's what really pisses me off the most. It's the idea that these men actually believe they're more smarter than everybody else. I don't really like that. I mean, really don't like that. I haven't gone out of my way to prove my intelligence. And I still apparently it would obviously say anyone I'm smarter than them. It would be so obvious to them. I'm actually smarter than them. And I haven't done anything different than I've been doing over the last fucking 30 odd years. Just sit back and watch them walk themselves into a traffic. Simple as that. Uh, I'm quite aware that my enemies aren't as clever as they think they are. I guess it's too late by the time I realised that it wasn't. The British people and the British government have to sit here and listen to this shit and can't do anything about it because it only work against them. It would. And then they can't go around abusing people anymore. And that's their biggest worry. Is that these sadist men can't get to go out and abuse people anymore. And then when they complain or try and attack them for it, they have them locked up in hospitals and prisons. I mean, that's really what is going on. That's the whole thing what it's really about. They don't want to lose their ability to abuse others. And it's as simple as that. They make you think, oh, we can't let him do that because this and that. It's as simple as that. They want to abuse people, and this will put a spanner into the works. Because the police will be forced to investigate these claims of or the police culture The police culture apparently that they have around these sites is to not investigate things once that person is being labeled as mentally ill. I have no proof of that, but this is apparently the concept. So we're gonna put that concept to the test. Innit? Is that how they actually are? We're gonna put that concept to the test. Is that how they actually are? That they won't investigate something being said because somebody has a diagnosis. And all you need to do is get somebody diagnosed. You see, doctors commit all sort of scams and do all sort of financial, all sort of, what's it called? You see, doctors do all sort of scams and illegally diagnose people with false diagnosis to make money out of them. So these things obviously happen. So the police would be aware of, I guess, corrupted doctors who could be paid to diagnose somebody for under them circumstances, and that the police just ignore it because of the person's diagnosis. So trust me, humans stand no chance in here. Yeah. The game is simple. Yeah. I don't like human, and obviously I ain't doing nothing illegal. I'm doing exactly what it needs to be done. Get rid of human. And everybody knows that human lost so badly here is unbelievable. They can't believe what they see. They're looking at me and can't believe I'm still walking around free every day. This never happened before. It's quite simple. Quite simple for me. Who is this? Is that my school? Young man. Yeah, apparently, that's how the police is. They won't investigate anything somebody with mental illness says, isn't it? And I find that very strange. So we've got to put them to the test, innit? Because a doctor can simply replace him, diagnose it as mentally ill. So if I can think that, oh, it's possible that that goes on as well, why can't they think of it? So there's a reason why they haven't thought of it, isn't it? It's because they know why that is being done, and that's why they made it like that. Mm, mm. They would have made it like that, so you can see why they don't investigate it once that label is on him. It's meant to discredit that person, and usually the only people that wants to discredit others is people who work with the government. Only the government seeks to discredit people. And unfortunately for them, they spent one bunch of time trying to discredit me, only for me to unravel that and undo that in 12 months. I waited the last 14 years, don't I? Dumb guys. Waited 40 years. I only to have it undone in less than 12. I'm gonna read it. I'll go and post the police report that I have. And I can say to them, where did you man get that picture of me from? I never seen that picture before. I mean, I'd like to know where that picture of my police report came from. And then, okay, where that picture came from them. Alright. So why do you have, why you put my picture on file for? Exactly what did I get locked up for? Alright. What did I get locked up for? Really sick of facing Salah. Like, I hate facing that. I find the game boring now because face Salah too much. Like, it's just the same player over and over again. Like, really, I don't know. I've got off FIFA. It's like it's not exciting anymore because you pretty much know who you're coming up against all the time. It's lost the fun for me. Just Salah. Pretty much every game I come up against a fucking Salah. And I don't think everybody has Salah. You get me? I'm sure people have RTG teams and not everybody can afford Salah. Certainly not everybody would use Salah, but every time I turn this game on, bro, there's a fucking Salah on this goddamn the screen, bro. I'm kind of getting sick of it. Every time I turn this game on, bro. You go through all of my videos ever since the start of FIFA 30. Yo, I face a Salah 8 out of 10 games. And I find that very strange that everybody has Salah, but like, because that's the delusion I'm under. It's the delusion. Everyone's got Salah. What the fuck is that? I find it very odd, innit? But I don't think they thought I would have noticed that. Really don't think that. So he could get out. I passed the ball, and he could get out of the finger before I passed the ball. But very nice game. I'm so tired, bro. I swear these people have covered. Okay, I swear these people are coming to my house and put some sort of medication inside of drinking water or something. I say I'd rather sound paranoid than to not say that that's what they do. So if it ever comes and there's any sort of illicit substance in my bloodstream, it's them that's coming into the house and do it. I'd rather say it. Rather be paranoid and say it. But I just keep the last 2 weeks to like I sleep all day and I sleep another 3 hours during the day and I just sleeping all the time. I don't know why that would make sense. I know medication makes people drowsy, I do know that. So like I say, they obviously they can't take this to court because the NHS got caught doing that with the NHS out themselves. No, they'd like hide it. So where would you get proof from? I mean, that's the game, innit? See, the situation is, oh, you can't prove it. You don't need to prove something like that. All you have to need is prove that they wouldn't tell the truth. That's all you have to prove. Is that they simply wouldn't tell the truth. Because who would have authorized that? If you live with nobody, you live by yourself. So who exactly could authorize something like that being done? So maybe I should record I should write down every day how much I was asleep at night and how much I was asleep during the day because I'm always sleeping because I don't know what. My eyes are always burning. I mean, eyes are always burning. I always feel fatigued. I always feel lethargic. I always feel tired. I just abnormal. Really, it's abnormal. Mm. I know they can't take this to court. I'll just use them against each other and say, well, would you tell the truth if you were covertly medicating somebody? No, you'd lie. Well, that's the very nature of it. You would lie to that individual. And then I'll use plenty of old cases where people said stuff like this, say, oh, they feel like they're being poisoned, and they say they're schizophrenic, but they were possibly being covertly medicated, or they were possibly being poisoned for real. Like I say, if 100 milligrams is lethal of any poisonous substance, 10% of that lethal substance would not kill you, it would just make you feel extremely unwell. It would make you feel extremely sick. So you can see where something's going on there. Man. I always feel like that. I always feel ill. I always feel sick. I always feel nauseous. I always feel tired. Like, I mean, to me, that's signs of poisoning. I can put up also a picture of when my skin just breaks out into this weird, like, I get all these spots. raised skin and whales and red skin and blotches and it's crazy stuff. Like I got pure pictures of myself. 'Cause I find I don't have bad skin. I know that for a fact about myself. Never had bad skin before coming into this country. I came to this country and all of a sudden I'm developing some terrible skin condition. It would only make sense that it's something I'm consuming because I never I never had any diagnosis of any allergy that I know of. So it's certainly not an allergic reaction to anything that I can think of. And I've done a million blood tests. I've never had one blood test results from the NHS. I've, I've been to clinics, you know what they call them, you know, you go for them sexual checkups. I've gone there numerous times. I had blood tests, never got any result. I'm going to the GP, never had any result. Um, all sort of things, never had NHS mental health service, never had any results. So somebody's hiding my blood for some reason. You know what I mean? They don't want to give the result because if they give me the result and then they don't put on there that they found um, any sort of substance in whether drugs, antipsychotic, anything like that, because they can't give you the result and not tell you what they found in your system. So guess what they do is they just don't give you the result overall. Because if they purposely omit it from them, then you can see it's an offense by its very nature. So the plan is to go after them that way. All these people that keep turning up here, oh, we're trying to help you. I've asked them numerous times to get my blood test results, and they've refused. They've outright refused. They've had warrants there saying that, oh, um, they've had warrants. What is it? No, they had warrants about psychiatric holes and that, and they won't give the blood test results. I've asked the psychiatric doctors. I've asked the nursing stuff. I've even asked Delta to help me to get them, and she don't seem to want to. I mean, nobody wants to give me them blood test results because there's something in there. And I know I don't take drugs, never have. I've never would knowingly take any sort of illicit substance other than some marijuana. So there's obviously something within my system. There's obviously something else within my system, you know. And that would mean either they're putting it in there or of somebody else's drug machine and they're covering it up for them. So they keep turning up here for some odd reason, saying that they're trying to help me and or they're giving me financial help. Why are they giving me financial help? I think you man owe me millions of pounds in compensation. Millions of pounds in compensation. I don't want no financial help from your little shitty dog. You know what I mean? I've literally asked me a blood test numerous times. I cannot get my blood test results for nothing. It's because they're obviously hiding something. Yeah, these guys think they're so smart. Innit? It's all like I change my tactics every day, but they can't seem to change the tactic. It's like their brains are stuck. I literally change my tactics every day, bro, like, every day. I do it. I just do it just to mock them, innit? I really do it. I'm really mocking them. Because like they do the same thing every day. Innit? What they try to do is like anything I say. So like, oh, I come before in that last video, I told a story about my dog. They'll come and say, "Oh, what dog? What dog?" You know what I mean? Nobody knows about what you're talking about. They just drop some random shit like that in their conversation that don't even make sense. They have no tactic. They have nothing else because this is what they planned. That's the only plan they had, and I guess they're used to it working, and it's not working, and they can't come up with anything else at this point. They're stuck with it. Like, you guys are morons. I literally change my tactics every day just for the mere fun of it. To say this is how many things I can do. You get me in. This is what my brain comes up with all the time. Let's see what you man come up with. It. You got a whole team of you people. You can't come up with anything new. Man, I waste man. I mean, you might waste man. Every time I buy food, yeah, every time I order to just eat, like they keep salting my food, but like literally, I've ordered like three different things of just eat last week, and the food's so salty, it's unbelievable. Like, I just bought like curry from some Asian shop. Like it's so hot, yeah. I don't complain about pepper, but it's so hot and salty. Like I can literally feel it in my chest as I'm sitting there. It's like somebody is going around and telling them to salt the food because obviously salt will raise your blood pressure over a time period of time. So that's what they're doing now. Obviously, they can't poison you because the police won't be able to rule it as just some casual whatever cardio problem. So they're trying to make it look like, oh, eat a lot of salt. Obviously, I'm not a fool. What I do is just put it in the nose. So they say don't salt the food. So there'll always be that connection in it. And then I say I change my tactics every day. Even a dumb guy, cowards, trying to beg your way out of this situation to not be attacked. Oh, you got families and kids. Oh, okay, happy for you. Don't do things just that's a concern. It's just prove that you English boys are no bad boys. That's all it is. That's all it proves. Because no other bad boy nowhere around the world worries about their family. None of them do. You're the only man that worries, do things and worry about it. Don't do shit to people if you don't want your people getting hurt. It's just simple, isn't it? So it's just more proof that you're no bad boys and you picked up more than what you could chew, bite off or whatever. You bit off more than what you could chew, innit? Plain and simple. That's what's really going on. You might have bit off more than you can contribute. No, it shows about you English. You bit off more than you can contribute. You guys are cowards, bro. They want to attack you and not be attacked themselves. I don't understand where you get that from. Like, how do you think that was going to work out for you, man? So that's why they come with like 10,000 of them to intimidate you, innit? And then they spread false rumors to the police. And then you have the 10,000 and then the police behind them. So it's like it's meant to intimidate and give you the illusion that there's nothing you can do about it. Basically, roll over and die, innit? That's what the idea, innit? But now, when the police realize that you're not backing now, police has to fuck off because they can't get caught being involved in that themselves publicly. You know what I mean? And then them little lot, their friends start walking away. Oh, we got families, we got sisters, and we got sons and nieces. I mean, they don't want nothing to happen to their family. So you can see that they're not really bad boys. They're, I guess, bullies, isn't it? It's not the best way to put them. They're bullies. They want to bully you, and then when you're not hunting them now to do things to them, they're concerned about what might happen to their families and retaliation. Cowards. Why do you not think about that before you did what you did? The answer is simple. You didn't think. Nobody would stand up to you. Yeah, that's it, innit? You didn't think nobody would stand up to you, man. That's what you man for. I mean, because you man are obviously crying now about asking the police what can be done, and they're saying nothing can be done. They would get caught helping you people, and you might. It's all good when the plan works. Yeah, it's all good when the plan works, but when it doesn't work, it's a problem. You might just get caught, man. Everyone knows you're not a bad boy. Everyone knows that you're bitches. It's not worried about your mamas and dads and what might happen to them and retaliation. So at first, they obviously didn't think no retaliation would happen because they obviously trying to intimidate you. I mean, that's the idea, isn't it? They intimidate you, but when they realize, oh shit, they're gonna be retaliated against for the things that they did. They're all worried about their children and kids now. Mm. I said, I know these type of guys, like, these type of guys are everywhere. Fake bad boys, dude. I tell you, these are what you call poisoners, but that's the nature of a poisoner. Innit? They won't go out there and shoot you and stab you in the face. Innit? They go and fucking put shit in your food and you sick and die. And then that guess what? Because 9 times out of 10, even if you survive that poison, you won't know who they are. So therefore, you could never come turn up at their fucking front doors and shoot them in the face. Of course. Everybody will know. I'll die. I'll make sure that's my life goal and mission to let everybody know that you're a coward. I'll make it a life mission. I won't stop calling you man out publicly on this internet. Sure that you're cowards. But no doubt they were going around this town and city acting like they're bad boys again. Rolling up with their gold teeth in their mouth, trumping away like they're gangsters. Because that's what they do. There's one bunch of them come around and people see a massive crowd and then people are scared of that. Innit? You get me? People are intimidated by large groups. Innit? It's like them guys where you see them go to them events and they're all in the street like what, but nobody's throwing any punches, nobody's doing anything, but it's just a bunch of what's in it. It's what sits in it. A bunch of what sits, you get me? What, and they're all jumping back and forth, but nobody's actually throwing any punches and anything, because by the time he looks around and realizes all his friends are not behind him, he's backing away as well. You get me? That's what the nature of these guys. You see one man run, 10 of them run down, one man run down. Trust me, it's the other way. You won't see one man running, 10 of you man down, but trust me, son, peak. Because there's no way you man get around it. Everybody would have seen you and felt like, oh, he's afraid of you people. Oh, afraid of you people. A coward by its very nature. And we'll make it a life mission to let everybody know that you're a coward. Don't come and worry about the safety of your friends and family at this point. Because why you weren't worried before you even did it? Because you obviously didn't think there would be no retaliation against you. And the only one reason I can think that is because you never intended them to be seen. You were intending to create a wall in front of that individual where you can hide behind it. Oh, this is how we do it. Yeah, cowards. All you have to do is admit it to yourself. That's it. You have to just admit it. That we're cowards, and I am very right that you people did not expect this to be the result. That's all you man have to do. Just admit the truth. Right? All you man have to do is fucking admit it. I knew he was gonna miss you. Because he got a system over here called VLU, stand for Victim Liaison Unit, yeah? And what that is people can just claim domestic abuse, yeah? So some girl can just, because obviously we found out a lot of people have made false allegations about domestic abuse. But in this fucking crazy country, bro, somehow you have what you call victim liaison unit. And basically, what that is information. There's a team of people who, anybody who is, I guess, prosecuted and charged for domestic abuse, basically, they tell that person, I mean, the person who made the accusation, they tell them about the person. So, some random girl can just make an accusation about you, yeah? And what they do is just what they'll do is just tell her stuff about you. So it don't matter where you are in this world, they'll just keep her updated. You know what I mean? Basically like that. They'll just keep her updated all the time. And obviously why people are worried now because that should have never been public. I can run to Russia if I need to. I'm sure you won't have access over there. Very sure of that. But yeah, that's what they do. So they can set up people to make false allegations. Yeah. That girl can be just telling you stuff you were doing somewhere else. And you're gonna be scared shitless thinking, how did you know that? I think she's stalking you. And then really you find out you think she's stalking you. You're running around scared, wondering who's stalking you. All of this weird stuff. Only to find out that it's the police that's telling you stuff and it's legal for them to do that. You know what I mean? Only to find out that it's the case. You guys are untrustworthy, but you know what I mean? They can literally do stuff like that to people, but this place is dirty people. Dirty. Yeah, it was fucked up. Because obviously it's a design, innit? It's by design for it to be like that. Can you imagine you get accusations of domestic abuse against it, yeah? And they now grant her the permission. They now grant her the permission, yeah? They're telling her stuff, and they're telling her stuff, and she's now using it against you, or other people are using it against you. You're thinking, how do they know that? Yeah? You're thinking, how do they fucking know that? Guess what? They are telling her where your whereabouts you went to, this place, that place, this place, that place. Because anyway, if you go anywhere near the vicinity where she lives, it's like a restraining order. Yeah. So it's technically like a restraining order, but they keep her up to date the person up to date in real time. So I guess it's meant to say, well, it's meant to be safeguarded. That's why it's written on paper as, but it can be used in nefarious ways. Like I said, they can be like, oh, you, oh, they live in Old Trafford, yeah, you're heading Old Trafford direction. They ring that person like, oh, he's coming to Old Trafford. And where are you? Blah blah blah. So it's gonna obviously be meant to look like that. They don't know what that person is gonna take that information and do with it. You get me? That value thing goes along with you, man. Yeah. Destroy that. Do proper police work, you know? Because like I say, police can get away, people within the government can get away with crimes like that because they tell her, yeah, legally they can tell her because of the system, the law, alright, cool. She can fucking then come, yeah, and purposely coming your way, knowing exactly where you are. And what are they going to say? Who would it be down to that that truth comes out that she knew where you were when she went there? You didn't see her by chance, you didn't meet her, she didn't pop up by chance, she knew that you were there. Who would be able to figure that out? So you can see how they can use that law in terrible ways. So if you got a restraining order, you pop up in that area where that person lives. That person can come in your vicinity, and every time you come in that vicinity, they go where you are. Yeah, on record you're the abuser. Alright, cool. Yeah, on record you're the abuser. So you're just going in that area for whatever business you have there. But every time you go there, that person is there. And that can be to me look like you're stalking that person, innit? Because it's down to whose interpretation. The very people that would have authorized that the what's it called, victim liaison system. Yeah, they'd authorize, they're the ones who authorize it. It would be down to their interpretation to say, oh well, you was following her around, and you're like, no, I wasn't there. And they're like, no, no, no. Here you are at this shop. Here you are at that place. Here you are there. You're thinking like you don't even know where this bitch is, but this bitch is always where you are. And all you have to do is make sure you don't see her, innit? That's it. That's all you have to do is make sure you don't see her. Guess what? On camera, she walked in 10 minutes ago. You walked in 10 minutes behind her. You have no idea that that bitch is in that building. But guess what? For the next 15 days you're going there, you're constantly walking behind every building 10 minutes behind her. And how are you going to explain that? How, on God's earth, could you explain your way out of that? I mean, I'd like to know where's the brilliant man that could explain them because you won't know so that the victim liaison is doing that. You know what I mean? So clearly, because I'm a fool, innit? And I don't know nothing. But how do you explain a scenario like that? They make false allegations against you, whether you technically have to be convicted or not. I don't think you have to be directly convicted. It's like Clare's law. You don't have to be directly convicted. The person can just have some concern about you and just fucking ring the police up at any point about you. And as long as you can prove that there is some close quarters connection or interaction, they're more likely going to give that and give them the information and tell them, oh, he's got domestic abuse on his police report. And the domestic abuse was a lie, it was merely an allegation. Now Claire's law is being used. And the police won't stop to think, well, maybe that girl knows the other girl who made that. And then that girl set that up, made the claim. We obviously took the bait, and now somebody else is calling Claire's law and getting that information. And then now it's a legal thing. Now it can't be classified as defamation of character anymore. And that's what it does. The human wanted to know what I do. It's getting clearer yet. The job what I do doesn't make any sense yet. That's how they get around the system. It's dirty, you know? So if you know about washing money, that's how they wash the information. So I don't know if information washing is a thing, but I guess I just created it how they wash information. Because that's what they would do, wash the information. Because what are the chances of you figuring out that that's what's going on? The chance is very slim, you know? But legally on paper, it looks like what they're doing is legal. So I name that phenomenon information is it called laundering? Yeah. I call that information laundering. And I came up with that. Yeah. So again, white boy, human laws are defeated. I call that information laundering. Yeah. where somebody makes a domestic abuse claim against you. We all know the police are overzealous when it comes to certain claims, especially of domestic abuse, because if that police somehow has a little daughter that has similar features to the poor little girl, then they'll be have some form of bias towards the situation. And after the bias, so guess what? You're now having this against you on paper. You made a mistake and don't fight against that. You made a mistake and don't fight against the allegation and clear your name, then it goes against you. Cool. Now you're opened up to what you call closure. Yeah. So they can just say, oh, he confessed and got a. They didn't tell you about that. This allegation is made against you. Oh, he confessed, and because he confessed, he has no previous. So what they're going to do is give him a suspended sentence. So now that's on your record that you don't know. And then guess what? Her friends and her friend group can now go, oh, and date you, try and make it look like you're somewhat in contact with them. And then they see what do they simply do next? Oh, Claire's Law. Now Claire's Law is giving them information. That's it. Now they're open up to Claire's Law. They're giving information on you and certain things. Alright, cool. Now they apply for the victim liaison. The application is action and process. Now they're giving up to date on your location. So all they have to do is have one girl in every fucking community. That's it. That's all they have to do. And they'll know your every move. And that's what you call information laundering. One girl in every community a part of that community. And these guys think they're so clever. But they're not clever, it's that people don't know these things exist. It's not being they're not clever at all. People just don't know it exists. So all you need to do, oh, you need one person in Old Trafford, one girl in Mossad, and just make sure there's an established connection between all these girls and let all these girls go make domestic abuse claims and make some sort of connection. Guess what? Every time you enter one of them areas, the victim liaison is telling them. So you're being trapped by these people and you won't even be aware of it. There will be no trace of it, no nothing of it. Anything comes of it, they're gonna hide it. The government would obviously cover it up. And these people know that. They know that the government would cover it up and not want to be responsible for such. I mean, uh, I call that information washing or information laundering. Just like money, information is valuable, isn't it? They both got currency, you know? And trust me, I ain't even spending half of my currency yet, you get me? I'm a billionaire when it comes to information, you know what I mean? I mean, a jackpot. It's a fucking jackpot. I mean, just like you, man, but trust me. All this what is going on the game is as a result of that. Because they don't want me to have a public platform. Because once you enter them FIFA competitions, you're gonna get followings, you know what I mean? And where it goes from that, it be solely down to you as an individual, but you're gonna get some sort of following. And they don't want you to go out there telling everybody all these sort of stuff, you know? Because why? Why would people not need to know that these things are going on? Because if it's a law, then the public has a right to know about all these laws. Why is the government hiding these things? Why is it being kept a secret? And if it's being kept a secret, but it's legal, then in what capacity are you intent on using that law? You know what I mean, so that's a game, you know. It's a legal thing to do on paper, but they know it's fucked up because it breaks your privacy law. So you can see they would not want you to know, so that you can't have a legal challenge against it. You can just put an injunction against them, and then that cuts that off. You know what I mean? So you can see they would not want you to know. And that's why they wouldn't want people to know. Because you simply put an injunction against it. And then the challenge will come in to say, well, none of this was true in the first place. Blah, 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 blah. And if it goes by, they don't deny it ever happened. obviously the girls or whoever is going to deny it happening. I mean, obviously the girls are going to deny it happening because obviously if they don't deny it happening, then they'll face problems, isn't it? You know what I mean? The girls are going to deny it happening, and the government obviously follows suit, and then everybody denies that they were doing it because it didn't work out in their favor. Um, like I said, the intent there, the use is obviously ill intent. Proper use of the law or the legislation. I mean, it would be improper use of the legislation, but somehow it is the law. It's because it's how they use it, and they don't want people to know that it's being used in that way. Because this particular game of hide and seek that they play, everybody would know what it is and what is the reason. But guess what? They can just all play mind games with you. You won't know how this girl knows all this about you. So, say they're saying that you're a domestic abuser, yeah? You're somehow blind and not realize you're still around that person. Oh, today you went to KFC. Guess what? She was, oh, I want KFC. And you're like, oh, I want KFC today. You could have said. The next 10 times you see her, every time you go to KFC, she all of a sudden wants KFC. At some point, you're going to realize. At some point, you're going to take fucking notice of that. And then what's going to happen to you now? You're going to be mentally fragile because you're going to think all sort of weird stuff. You either run off, you either run away, or you attack that person in it. And then guess what? It turns out that what they were doing was legal. Because the legislation does not say, oh, you can't we tell you this information about him. You can't use it and try and mess with his mind. There's nothing about that. The legislation doesn't say that. So, i.e., there's no legislation that say they can't repeat to you in an indirect way where you was today at this time and oh, nope, there's no legislation again. So you can see the intended purpose and use behind it. You know what I mean? And I say these men think they're clever. But you can only outsmart somebody if the person doesn't know. The moment you know of its existence, I mean, at least the moment I know of its existence, it's game over for that. You know what I mean, it's like for time or at a time, some weird things was going on. And what they did was try to say I was mentally ill. But they were using the VLU and the clearest law against me. And then obviously I was saying something strange is going on. They're saying, oh, you're crazy, you're paranoid, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the government know they stand no chance in this because when these things are deployed, what is the safeguard against the person figuring out that, well, something's being said about him? What is the safeguard against it? To say, well, what if the person figured out that is going on? How is it supposed to be dealt with? Hmm. Because there won't be any safeguard. I ain't heard nothing from nobody. I ain't got no friends to tell me that. And let them say about this that Dave told me. Where is the paperwork and proof that you told me? You won't find my fingerprint on there. And nobody reads something from a distance. You won't find my paperwork on there. Trust me. So that is how these people are dirty, because they put no safeguard. It's meant to safeguard the victim, and we've seen plenty of people make false allegations of domestic abuse. Yeah, we've seen that plenty of times. But the VLU and the clears law is meant to protect victims, which is cool because what it does is warns you of somebody's past. So clears law warns you of somebody's past if they've got a history of domestic violence and if any accusations ever been made against them or such. That's what it does. And then the VLU basically is an alert system. So it's like a amber system in it. Yeah. Basically like an amber system in it, where they tell the person stuff where you are and your location. So, like I say, a group of it's easy to be done with through women, explain through women. So, a bunch of women, they all friends, they all know each other one way or the other. They all live in a 5 mile radius right round. So, say Hume, Mossad, Longside, Wally Range, Old Trafford, and they all know each other. Guess what? All of them try and get contact with you, and all of them go and pose as some friend or sexual partner. And then they all use that system. They all deploy the system against you. Guess what? They know your every move, bro. Because as soon as you go from one area to the next, the other person's being alerted. Because they have to monitor your phone to do it. You can't be done without your phone being monitored. Because how are they gonna know where you are? How to update that person? So they have to update if they have to monitor your phone. So you can see they deploy all these systems where they can consistently monitor you all the time. All the time. They can't catch you one way, they can't watch you one way, they do it the other. And that's the easiest way to do it. Because it's not like these police officers and Scotland Yard and KCHQ and all these type of, it's not like they don't have daughters and sisters, so they can get their own daughters and sisters to lie to you. And how you gonna know that next girl, uncle, father, brother, sister, auntie is a police officer? How the fuck are you going to know that? Because they don't tell you, how are you going to know? You know what I mean? It is impossible to know that. I mean, so they can use even their own family members as informants. And you guess what? You're never gonna know that that person was auntie or uncle to somebody. So I call it information laundering, where it's washing the information. So the information is dirty, and they push it through that system, and then they use it against you, and you don't know that that's what is going on. So then it becomes legal. So you go off the deep end and kill that person. Then they said, oh, he's had a history of mental illness. He's had a history of domestic abuse. And we had to warn these girls about it regularly and blah, blah, blah. You end up going mad, feeling like you're going crazy, stuff like that. Guess what? You end up hurting yourself. They say, oh, you couldn't handle it. I mean, I don't like these guys. Like, the covers were big and worse. These guys are the worst set of people I've ever seen. And I don't know, they think they're smart, that's the worst part. Because they sit in their heads and think they're clever men for doing these things. Well, there's nothing clever about that. That's why they don't want people to know. So they have these egos for what I don't really know because if people know. They can't do things and people know that they're doing it and they prove to be clever and they have to do it in secret. They prove that they're not clever. So that's what I call information washing. Mhm. Because them girls can take that information and do anything. They can send anybody to come and watch you, eye you up, stalk you. So they know exactly where you are. They know where you're going, where you are. They know when you leave from their area. So when you leave from their area to the next area, guess what? Somebody else takes over, another team takes over. I mean, you leave from this area into the next area. Different team from that area takes over. So that's why in England, women say make domestic abuse allegations and the police quickly starts acting on it without investigating. Because why? It's because they use the women for that. Mhm. So they've deployed that system against me, and because I'm asking questions now, all the girls well, apparently I was with and cheating on them, they all fucked off and ran off. Because obviously, how long can they go without that being a problem? But you're not meant to know that it's going on, so you can see it's a legitimate system that is meant to be used nefarious because it's handing out your privacy. I mean, so it's meant to be used like that, innit? Right, so the thing is so clever, bro. They've got so much, and the NHS again. If the NHS, if the NHS deems you as a threat, the NHS can violate your privacy as well. And go around telling people about it. So they can use the Clear's law to tell people about your privacy. They can use the VLUs to tell people about your privacy. The police can tell people about your privacy. Then, yeah, then the NHS. All of these things can be used to tell people to break the privacy law around you, yeah? Break the wall of privacy around you and leave you vulnerable. Now, everybody's got your information at that point, you know what I mean? They can just do that to you. And guess what? How long are you going to last with one bunch of people knowing how many times a day you go to the toilet? You get me? You can see that you're looking at a mental breakdown at some point there. It's quite simple, isn't it? You can see you're looking at a mental breakdown at that point. Innit? Because the last thing they want is having to show justification of the decision to let your information be public. Because obviously it's going to be, it can't be a simple process to make that decision. So you can see the necessity in it. They can just trigger it off. They can just trigger off that system and then ensure that you look mad in it. You know what I mean? That's all they can do. They can simply trigger it off and make sure you look mad. And after you look mad, guess what? They can just continue to do this. They say, oh, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. At some point, you're gonna lose your shit. You get it? At some point, you're gonna lose your shit, and that's they do it until you lose your shit because that's the intended purpose. Because you're either gonna run away from the city or you're gonna curl up in a ball and cry and die. Innit? Like I say, I dare anybody to argue with the theory. I dare anybody to come up with a better reason why they will deploy such a system. I mean, so they can go around, NHS can deem you a threat to the society on a mental health level. Go around telling everybody about it. Police can say you pose a criminal threat, whether to the community or national security. I'm going to tell people about it. Some girl can say, oh, you're a domestic abuser. And then they go tell her about it. So then everybody just knows the information. Everywhere you go, people have been told about you. You know what I mean? Everywhere you go, people have been told about you. How long would you last in that psychological trap? I mean, yeah. How long would you last in that scenario? So nobody can say that wait, them systems have never been used in conjunction before. Nobody can say that well, that has never happened. You can say it has happened here. So is there any law that stops them systems from all being deployed at once? There is no law that does that. So like I say, these people think they're clever, and guess what? It would all be legal. So you do anything as a result of that. They're gonna point you out as guilty. Simple as that. They're gonna do their best to hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it. They're gonna do their best to hide all that. Because the moment they get caught using it all together, people will then realize, oh shit, that can be done. Guess what? Then it will be obviously there'll be restrictions put around it, so it can't truly be done. You know what I mean? So if the NHS does it, guess what? You call and say, oh, people are stalking you. You call the police and say, oh, people are stalking me. They're gonna call the police and say, well, nobody's stalking you. Basically, what's going on? we thought he was a threat, and obviously they'll explain the law to them. They'll confirm that the law does allow that, and then that's it. You're screwed. You're in that trap. You know what I mean, and the dirty people don't rate these guys because, like I said, to me it's just a cowardly act. I don't care what nobody says. It's nothing to do with secure. It's destroying somebody from afar without ever having to be physically in danger yourself. That's what it's really about. They don't ever get to be in danger. And like I said, you're looking at mental fragility there. Because you start questioning that girl, she was obviously gonna say you're paranoid. She's not gonna want you to know that they've been telling them stuff about you. No, it's your fault. I mean, they're not gonna want you to know that, oh shit. Well, the police, the NHS was all telling them about you. They're not gonna want that to be known. So guess what? They're gonna make you look crazy, they're gonna make you think you might, and then they're gonna try and drive you away. Innit? Because they drive you away, then you're not a threat to them now because you already know it. Innit? Like I said, there's too many systems they've deployed because they talk about privacy this and data protection this and data protection that. But they won't come and tell you that, well, there's certain circumstances where they can legally breach your rights. They won't tell you that. They will ensure that you are never aware of that. And if you're never aware of it, you're never going to think that because it's been jumped into everyone's head. Oh, data protection, data protection, data protection. But they won't say, well, there's certain circumstances where they can break your data protection rights and privacy rights because then you start looking into the ways of how that can be done. And then you'd either try and avoid situations that where it can be done, or you realize, oh shit, you were set up the whole time, and you start remembering things that went on, and realize, oh, that's what they've used, and that. So you can see the intent is to destroy you fucking mentally. I mean, I tell you, I see this guy, man, I attack this guy. No matter what these police officers do, they ain't winning this because I have got so much information on them and things that they can do. And if I'm thinking that they can do it, I'm not from this country. I don't work for the police. Never have worked with the government. Never worked with the NHS. Never done anything like that. And I come up with that and realize that, oh shit, that can be done and used together. Then it obviously means they have done that themselves, innit? I mean, because what would be there to stop them? There's no laws around it. The restrictions, they would know what restrictions and what they need to justify it. That's all they need. They know what they would need to justify that. And if you know what you need to justify an action, what's stopping you from fabricating the scenario? Because it's not like you're going to know what is going on. You ain't gonna have no clue what the fuck is going on there. I mean, you're going to be starting walking with knives, thinking that oh somebody is stalking you and planning to attack you. If you're a female, you're obviously going to be scared shitless, start putting 19 bolts on your door. You know what I mean? So you can see how dirty they are. So I don't rate you, man, but like, I won't stop till I destroy you, man. I got my way to do it. Literally gonna go out of my way to destroy you, man. Oh, this what they're doing to the game. It'll just be proof that well he was onto something. Yeah, that's all it is. Because I'm sure quite a lot of politicians don't know that that can be done themselves. Plenty of powerful people don't actually know that these things can be done. And like I say, if you have a situation where okay, cool, we can lock somebody up in hospital by getting an involuntary psychiatric hold. Cool. A person isn't doing anything that warrants it legally. Alright, cool. What we're gonna do? We just start feeding him lies, innit? And pissing him off. So now he's gonna be saying crazy stuff that's not true. We record the crazy stuff that's not true. And then we just anger him so he becomes some sort of a violent trip. So guess what? They're just going to use that and get a psychiatric hold against it. Is the judge going to query the anything there more than what he sees in front of him? No, he's just going to look at it superficially or subjectively or whatever. So he won't know if it's true or not. I don't think he legally has the right to investigate that. I don't think he does. All he has to do is just seeing it appear as such and then grants it the order. Now you're being thrown in a hospital and you're thinking like, well, why are you being put in hospital? They're like, oh well, there's concerns. You're like, well, what are your concerns? Legally, do they have to tell you? No, they'll just keep passing the responsibility to somebody else. And then they go, oh, we thought we told you, we're so sorry. So, weaponizing competence. That's all they have to do, just keep passing the information, passing the responsibility onto all 6 million or 60 million of them. You never got told. But they were all going, oh my God, we're all so sorry. I hope you can feel better and we hope we can help you. And you should go and seek therapy. You know what I mean, to help you get over this traumatic event. You can't imagine how hard it must have been for you. And how do you prove that that was an accident? That would be impossible to prove, isn't it? Is it? I don't think so. It's not impossible to prove. If all 60 million of them said that they thought that person did it, then they're incompetent. So by its very definition, they should lose their jobs. So incompetency is what we cause you, man. Yeah. And so you can see why they can't come and fuck around here because they're getting out of this situation. And my goal is to prove intent. That's it. I don't think I need any more proof of intent than I have done here. I think he is more than founded and proven that this is all intent. Just like I say, 60 million people, and they all think they told you, and they didn't. I mean, 60 million people, and they all think that they told you. So Glenn Robinson, some white guy, only white people have them names or not. So here it goes with this 6-1 thing again. And you can see this guy has done nothing to score any of them goals. But anyway, I'm not going to be distracted by what's going on the screen. So yeah, you can see how they can cheat the system. And you can see how they can do these dirty things against people. Because look, they'll go and say, oh, we think he's past the threshold of being a threat. Now we can legally tell people about him. Are they going to tell you that, oh, well, we were telling people about it? Are they going to tell you that? No, they won't. Because then they're looking at lawsuits, and whether it was legal or not, they're looking at litigation and having to prove without a reasonable doubt that, yes, you did pose a threat at the time when this was being done. That's all they have to do. And they don't want that they wouldn't want to be sitting in a courtroom being scrutinized and being asked these questions because they know the slightest fuck up is going to go against them. The slightest fuck up goes against them. The slightest proof of misjudgment or ill intent or whatever, malfeasance, malpractice, the slightest fuck up, the slightest error in the paperwork, the slightest anything. That's it, they lost. And obviously, so they won't tell you. So what they'll do is just continue to tell people about it. And then what do? You'd have to, you're not going, if you don't know that these systems exist, where does it leave you? Because I know these systems exist. And I had to research and I had to dig around with mental health information, various forms of things. I end up finding a little snippet here and go and Google it there, Google it here, watch some YouTube video there, and then I started to, I guess, dig up and find out all these different things. I realized immediately what was going on. So it's either the police or the NHS. So you can see it won't be very good for them to have that done in court. Because I spoke to this lawyer woman, and she was like, "Oh, the police has a right to do it." I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, how do you know the police have got a right? I don't even know what's going on. I'm hiring you as a lawyer to have a look into if this is the case. You're already telling me they have a right. Well, you obviously see that they spoke to. And guess what? If you never confront them, how do you know that they were telling the truth? I mean, how does anyone know that they were telling the truth if they're never confronted about a situation? It's impossible to know. So by the time that you get to that point, you're already driven mad. That's the idea, isn't it? By the time you get there, you're already driven mad with it. Because they're not going to tell you, are they? But they'll go around and tell everybody else. Yeah, they can't control what people do with that information. So I can say, oh, the NHS or the police deems you a threat to the community and they start warning people about it. Cool. It's legitimate. Okay, cool. They have legal ways that can be done. Right, cool. You now start going onto the road. Oh, you're heading to you Google. Oh, what time does NatWest Bank open? Oh, they know you're going to NatWest. They ring ahead at NatWest and say, oh, this guy is crazy. This guy is this. This guy is that. Blah blah blah. You now walk into NatWest. How do they know what people are going to do with that information? Yeah, so get onto this guy right away. Yeah, so how do they know what people are going to do with that information? Because whatever they're telling them, it had to be serious enough. It had to be it had to be a serious enough situation for them to tell them anything. Yeah. First of all, so you obviously know that what they're saying to them isn't going to be anything nice. And then we all know people are judgmental. People will judge you and dislike you for it, and then they can use that information to attack you. They might not come and punch you in the face, but they can use that information to attack you. So, i.e., oh, they start airdropping stuff at you, innit? Oh, he's an abuser. So you're sat there thinking, you're like, oh, yeah. All of a sudden they're passing you, they're having two women are just passing you, having some random conversation that has nothing to do with you. Oh, this guy is such a fucking abuser. He's this, he's that. And you're looking at them thinking, like, what? Oh, it's just gossip. Guess what? You Google after that, you Google, oh, I'm going to Burger King. You go into Burger King now, there's another group of women that works at Burger King say, oh, this guy's a fucking abuser. Everywhere you Google and go for that day, everybody is saying the same thing. So I'll give it that. That's what you call information washing. So if you look mad, if you look crazy, and things like that, if you look like that on that level, yeah, what am I saying? Yeah. If you look mad and you look crazy, yeah, and or you look such a threat to that either the police or the NHS can deploy that, then how does that help them? How does that help them? Because if you're a threat one way or the other, telling people about it, then being unable to control what people do, because cool, the information gets washed, passed through back channels, you look crazy. Is anybody ever going to admit that that was done? Because if the systems exist, that means they do it, don't they? So it wouldn't exist if they don't do it. Who is going to admit that the police did tell them this? Who's going to admit that the NHS did do that? So obviously, I realized that's the problem I was going to face. Not having anybody admit to it. Yeah. So why I did realize, oh, these systems exist. So what you do is you go everywhere and anywhere and spread the information as far as wide as you possibly can. So even you don't need to go places, you fucking go to them places and allow them to tell as much people as they can about you. Pretty soon, info that news is going to travel as far as news like to travel. Because they say news travel fast. So then that becomes a problem for them. They were obviously too stupid to realize that will actually become a problem for them at some point, where everybody now knows. How are they going to backtrack on that? That's the game, They can't backtrack on it from that point because you do something, yeah. You now attack somebody. The person you attack, you are now in court saying, well, everywhere you went, people were saying this, and you now attack them. Can they allow that information to go out to the public and say that was the reason why you did it? No, they can't. They could never be mad to allow that to go out to people. Why? Because people are then going to realize what was done. People are going to then realize that the police put their lives at risk and knew, and they didn't have a clue that other people were doing the same thing as a result of what they were said. Information washing is entrapment from a distance. Mhm. It's entrapment from a distance. So they can entrap you in ways without ever even coming close to you. And that's what I don't like about these men, because like I said, they think they're clever. Like, that's trust me, that's the thing I don't like about them. That's why I'm taking the way I'm taking it. I look at them and they think they're clever people, but they're not. So in America, you see videos about police planting drugs. God knows what they do over there. Them man probably have their own shit that they get up to over there. But I don't live there, do I? I don't care about what they do. I mean, you man did this to me, and that's all. It wouldn't have bothered me if I heard it happen to other people. I probably would have been like everybody else. If I'm being honest with myself, I would have been like probably everybody else getting that phone call and hearing that. But guess what? I weren't like everybody else. I am the person it was done to. So I just like you man for it because I think you man think you're clever. And I certainly don't agree. I certainly don't. I don't agree with that. 'Cause it probably took you man months and years to come up with all that to work together. And I'm somehow just sat here playing FIFA, unraveling that. I'm the clever one here. Yeah, I'm on a pussy. They won't come and plant drugs in your car so you can spot them doing it and thump them in their faces and fight them and force them to have to shoot you. Innit? No, 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 they don't want that situation, do they? They don't want that situation. They don't want you have to force them to shoot you and then questions be asked to get me and then body camera footage start coming into play. And, no, they don't want that because they don't want to risk going to prison. They just want to put you there. I don't consider that the intelligence. I mean, like I said, people who don't believe in God, like the whole fucking LGBT community, you cannot put them in moral and ethical position and expect them to be moral or ethical. You can't. It's kind of stupid. So then that's the problem with the system. That's why they keep going into countries that haven't legalized homosexuality. That's why they keep going over there trying to press the issue. That's the reason. That's really what's going on behind it. It's nothing to do with gay rights and human rights. It's nothing to do with that. They'll sell it like that, innit? Because obviously what they're selling, innit? They'll sell it as human rights and all this, but the reality is not. Because morality plays a part in the whole thing. So where certain corrupt governments, yeah, they'll steal money and they'll do certain things, but certain moral conducts, even though they're stealing the money and that, they won't do certain things. But if you don't believe in God, where is your morality level? Zero, innit? What reason do you have? Because a homosexual male, I'd like to understand how could it possibly, it would be an oxymoron, it would be ironic that he has morality. Because what are men like? Put 10 women in front of a heterosexual man and see what he does. So a heterosexual man is only as sexually active as the availability of sexual partners. So if you put it on that, you look at it from that standpoint, a heterosexual man, yeah, they would lie to you as long as that woman is of a certain standard and cleansing or appear clean on the outside. You don't fuck every one of them. You can every one of them. So you put two men in that situation, what are you gonna get? You fucking put two men who thinks we're all men biologically programmed like that. Put two men in that situation, what do you think will happen? The level of immorality sexually you're going to find there will be unmeasurable. I mean, really outrageous. You can really look at it from that point and say they obviously have no morality. And if they lack morality, then they're not going to have a problem with doing things like that. Because what would it matter to them? I mean, the things that governs most of us and our behavior does not govern them. Because you see a full grown man put on a goddamn leggings and tights and a full face of makeup on his face and scream pride. Alright, cool, that's all good. But when you look at the bottom line of the whole thing, that's all good on paper when they're proud to be themselves. But when the morality comes into it, how does that play out for the community and its members? I mean, how does morality play out to the community and its members? Would the men have a issue with you disliking homosexuality? Because guess what? They don't believe in God. The gay pride community, they would literally dress up as Jesus. I ain't never seen one of them dress up as Muhammad, and that's quite concerning to me. I don't even know what Muhammad looked like, but I've never seen them dress up like Muhammad. I've never seen them took a Torah up and tear a fucking Torah. Is that what it's called? Is that what the Jewish Bible is called? No. Yeah. I've never seen them took a Torah up and tear it. We can go all over the internet and find homosexual people dressing up as Christ, mocking the crucifixion of Christ, tearing up Bibles and saying stupid shit about hell, Satan, and all that. But you never seen them do that to the Quran. Never. You'll never find that. And you'll never definitely the Torah, the Jewish Bible. You'll never find that. So you can see that there's something quite wrong here. And I don't like the six, but I told you, man. Trust me, I go deep, so deep that you man could never come back from it. I bury you, man, under that, And you women as well. Trust me, I bury you all underneath it. Your man are going back into the dark ages, but if I have nothing to do with it, I'll turn this into medieval times against you people. But yeah, so they don't care about the billions of followers of Christianity and every variation from the Church of Saint Paul and the Church of Edward the Sixth, and but these are all Christian-based ideologies. Yeah, Christian religion is the biggest religion in the world, right across the world. You'll find Christianity and a form of it in every part of the world. Biggest religion out there. But these men will somehow offend the biggest fucking religion in the world and face no punishment. I find that quite strange. Very odd scenario. Because if we live in a world where you're not meant to offend people and saying anti-Semitic things will get you punished, saying homophobic things will get you punished, apparently saying things against the Christian community has no punishment. Why is that? It's because morality. So you say a bunch of stuff against the Jews and the gays, then what? You find them attacking. The Christian Bible teach man to turn the other cheek and forgive the enemy and all of that, and that's what the Christian Bible. But they're quite aware that's what they taught in the Christian Bible. So they exploit it. They know that, oh, they're just gonna forgive us anyway, so fuck it, innit? Let's dress up like Christ. Let's put on a full face of makeup, put on a pair of leather chaps, and put a fucking phone on our head, and walk with a plastic cross down the street at their fucking gay marches. So we can see immorality it has missed completely missed the boat with them, man. And you can see immorality has missed the boat with them. And then the young kids are raised that way as well. They are raised to disrespect the Christian religion. These kids nowadays have more respect for Judaism. I would say not Judaism, but certainly not Judas. But they have more respect for the Jewish faith and the Muslim faith, even the Buddhist faith, if as far as I'm concerned, than they have for Christianity, which is quite strange, isn't it? Given that every 95% of the laws in the West is based on Christian faith. I mean, so when you think about it like that, you can see where the laws, because the West is losing immorality, they're creating immoral laws. And quite simple, you know, there's nothing special about what they do. You know what I mean, so they're trying to create these type of patterns. Yeah, so you see how fast he pressed off that. You realize that what happened there was bullshit, and he pressed off that real quick, innit? Yeah, he pressed off that real quick. But yeah, so you can see, I was never going to beg these men for mercy because I know exactly who they are and the type of men. They're Jews and homosexuals. They're Jewish homosexuals. I your worst nightmare. I have two of them. Just me. Having two of them in one body, blood, inhabiting one human flesh. That's a disaster, bro. You know what I mean, and they don't want people to say that because guess what? They're offended. So plenty of people have been done for hate crime, especially in England. And when they're done for a hate crime, when a homosexual person attacks somebody, are they done for hate crime? No, they're not. So if a homosexual person attacks a Christian person, they will never be charged for hate crime. They'll be charged maybe for GBH or something like that, but they'll never be done for hate crime. But a Christian person attacking a homosexual person, 100% know that you're looking at a hate crime there. And the question I asked, too much of them are in situations of power, and that's called cronyism. So one gay person gets through the door, he ensures all of them get through the door, you know what I mean? No, I'm gonna destroy you, man. For it. Take you, man, personal. The law in the West, in England, and it's you, man, that can't win it based on the law, bro. What you, man, are doing is a hate crime. Me being an open anti-Semite and an open homophobic individual, your attack on me is hate crime. I mean, did they not tell you that? They did not explain the technicality of what you man are doing. That if you ever figure that out, that's the position you people are in. No, no, no. Why? Because you man are not as smart as you thought. Plain and simple. What you man are looking at hate crime, and that's why you can't do anything about me. That's why you can't shoot or stop because you're looking at hate crime. Because the law does not say only the law isn't one sided; it works both ways. So you, as a Jew or a homosexual person, you attack me, you're looking at a hate crime. Just like the other way around, you will be looked at as such. So you man were under the facade and what's that thing called? Basically it means that false safety. Yeah, they believe they're safe because of the religion and sexual orientation, because that's how the West broadcasts it and sells it to us that Jewish people and the homosexual community are a vulnerable group of people. That's how it's spread out. That's how it's said. But if we live in the Western society where democracy is king, democracy majority rules. So if majority rules in a democratic society, Christian people have the majority. You get where we're going with that. Yeah, so you kind of get where that goes. So in this country, they have what they call petitions. Yeah, you have what we call petitions. Yeah? So 60,000 people can sign a petition to get you fired from a job, even get you as far as deported if you're not from the country, that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah, you can fight it, court case, blah blah blah, but they can trigger that off, yeah, because majority rules. What that simply shows you about society is that the Christian community aren't vindictive, because a lot of Christians would know that. So, well, technically, you've got billions of followers who believe a certain thing. We can get them all. You can just go into every church and get every church member to sign that petition, and then no harm, no foul. I mean, simple. Game over for that. But they don't do it. But the other side, they do it. I guess it's exploitation of someone's belief. You know what I mean? So I know why they can't touch me, and I know why they have to sit there and listen to the shit that I say, because it would just be a hate crime. And the people who would push the prosecution through, the police who would investigate it, their whole background would be called into question. So, i.e., their sexual orientation will become a problem, their religious belief will become a problem. I say, wait, you're a Jew, you're a homosexual. Oh, hate crime, malicious prosecution, all that. It would just tumble down and get like a bag of bricks on them. But it's not like they've ever had that done before. So obviously they were under a false sense of security. That's it. Yeah, they've been suffering from that for quite a long time, where they have a false sense of security because nobody has ever done it. They assume that it will never be done. They probably themselves have never even thought about it in that way and think, wait, actually, that's so true. I'll tell you, you got that hit a gay person, they're gonna call it a hate crime one way or the other. They're gonna go out of their way to do that. Even when there's no evidence of how they're gonna portray it. So gay or Jewish psychiatrist diagnosed me as a schizophrenic for no reason at all. Malicious. Hate crime. Gay or Jewish police officers or even Muslims um, investigating me for no reason at all. Malicious. Guess what? They're all justifying it. They're all coming to the same conclusion that he is a threat. We need to breach his privacy laws. That gets into the court. They'll be put through the ring on that one. Mhm. And then questions would have to. My simple question is, well, how many actual practicing Christians work within these environments? You won't find many. You really won't. It's not even a guess. It's a fact. You see, these guys do censuses in this country. And if you know what a census is, you basically you ask you your background, religion, race, all that, even your sexual orientation. So it won't be hard to track how many people working where and where they don't work. You won't find many Christians working in the police force, not anymore. And you won't find many of them working in the psychiatric field. So the psychiatrists and the police are dominated by what's he call it? are dominated by atheists, homosexual people, and the Jewish community. It's dominated by them. Muslim police officers are one in 40, and Christians probably less. Um, but argue me on that on paper. But there's census too. There are censuses to back me up. You're probably wondering how do I know that? But it doesn't matter how. I mean, you want something to go investigate. Well, that's also be knowing that is also legal too. Because everybody has access to the censuses that are there. So just to let you know, it's like one in 40 Muslims, and Christians in the police. Like one in fucking 40, man. When you look at it from that point, the beliefs, the system is imbalanced. And if you're coming up against atheist people, atheist people don't believe in God. The only difference between them and the homosexual individual is that the atheist is just a what do you call it, a heterosexual. That's it. It's just a sexual difference. But they are the same. They do not believe. No homosexual believes in um, believes in Christianity. They're a bit partial to the whole Muslim movement. I don't know why, but not my concern. But that is the case. But when you look at it from that point, the only difference between an atheist and a homosexual is just that one likes women and one likes the same sex. Or one likes the opposite sex, I should say, and one likes the same. When you look at it from that point, you can see why policing is a certain way. Or why certain people get away with certain things and some don't. Because I bet you a Christian person is quicker to be getting problems than any homosexual or Jew would find himself in. Because how often do you turn on your TV and hear them say a Jewish man committed a crime? How often? I mean, go check it for yourself. How often would you see that? They would never say that. They would never tell you that part of it. Let a Christian man do commit a crime. They'll tell you how much he's a pastor that goes to church every week. They literally tell you the whole man life story and make it abundantly clear that he's a judgmental Christian. I mean, but who judges more than them, man? Because them man are offended by everything. I every time tell you, like, the scammers, but like, they should not be trusted. None of the two, neither the Jews or the fucking homosexual community should not be trusted. And guess what? If you fall in a minority that is a decent, moral citizen, you just believe in what you believe in and you like what you like. Majority rules, just remember that. So, and that is the basis of democracy. That's what the idea of voting is about. Majority rule. So when you vote in your constituency, you vote in your party, you vote in your party leader, you vote in your prime ministers and presidents. That's democracy. How are they vote? Who has the most votes win? Doesn't that that's how it works, yeah? That is how it works. When you look at it from that point of view, you can see where there's a major issue. So you can see why they'll make sure to farm more of people who are on their shit together. Yeah, I mean, you see why they make sure more of them are in these positions that the vote is always going to go in their favor. So, i.e., you get done by the police for a hate crime whether against Jews or homosexuals. Do you think you're getting out of that? You ain't getting out of that because the man who decides who investigates that situation is going to pick who he thinks would have an agenda. Yes, he will. Because it's not like they raffle up a barrel and pick names out of a hat. No, them men are chosen. So you can see where these men's sexual orientation would be used against them. And they're quite aware of it. And it's not like what I'm saying now, they already knew that's what I was going to do to them. This is the West, man. I keep telling you. Nobody holds absolute power. And even the Prime Minister and President hold it for 4 years. I think you man have had 2 terms. I mean, your man time up. Your man time up, you get me? Somebody else needs to lead the thing, you get me? It's quite as simple as that. Somebody else needs to lead. We saw what you people done with the power and the leading, and I think society has declined under human leadership, in my opinion. See, they know why they ain't taking this into court. Because, like I say, no solicitor would have gone about this the way I go about it. I know some top notch Jewish solicitor out there is trying to figure out who the fuck is this guy? I know bad people are asking, like, who is this guy? I'm just a normal guy, innit? Like I said, I keep telling you, man, I went to high school at 10 years old. You've had many geniuses through society, but they were geniuses, obviously, at the things that they did. Obviously, I'm just a genius when it comes to stuff like this. And like I say, these man just picked the wrong enemy, you get me? It's as simple as that. There's nothing special going on here. They targeted the wrong enemy. And obviously, they thought the law would have been on their side in the grand scheme of things. That's what they thought. Yeah, I thought the law would have been on their side. And when it actually boils down to it, it isn't. And I'm sure quite a lot of shocked faces are out there. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm dusting off law books and really looking at the legislation. I'm thinking, like, what? I know they were sat in them offices. Them lawyers for Great Britain are regularly going through every law and legislation in this bitch to find something to get me. Well, I haven't done anything special. I've done nothing that I normally do. I just kick back and watch it. And if you pose an immediate threat, well, I just extinguish that threat, innit? And then just move on again to what I normally do. They just pick the wrong enemy. Nothing special with them. I'm not no special person in any way, shape, or form. I'm just extremely intelligent. You see, most people would have missed that over the years because I speak patois. Yeah. Most people would have just not noticed. That's why it looks like it's some out of the blue plot against everybody. It's not. I speak patois. Anybody that knows Jamaican knows patois. And go and find a patois dictionary and you realize how we spell words is no different to a foreign language would spell them. They spell them different from you. So when I would write some, yeah, obviously the word is SOME, but I just write SUME, and better people say, "Ah, you can't spell it." Ah, you can't spell it. I think that, oh, I'm an idiot, but I was just writing it in past. I mean, did I know you people were paying that much attention? Not really, but that is clearly what caught a lot of people off. That caught a lot of people out. So, like I say, I'm quite interested in the background story of my origin because the only reason you would get caught out by that would be somebody saying, "Well, he's not actually from Jamaica; he's just faking it." Otherwise, you shouldn't get caught out by that. And that's how I see it because Jamaican people know that well, patois is patois. So, I mean, instead of writing "go away," I'd write "go," which is GWEH. So obviously, based on that, I figured out that something not quite right with my background story because me being raised in Jamaica, technically English is my native language, but just like how you have certain types of English, it's known as dialect. So even in England, you have different dialects and different versions of English. And most people don't know that about even England themselves because the way Liverpool people talk different to London people. What they call Cockney is no different to patois in Jamaica. It's just a dialect within the country. So different parts of different regions, they all speak English, but they all speak it in different ways. They use different words to do it. So it's really the same. All you people are witnessing was really done. But what that done, just like how I did to Mr. Kang, and say, "Oh, I know what you're saying about me," and that then made me realize that something is going on behind closed doors. That patois thing that I use on social media, it did the same thing. I realized that wait, people think I'm a fool based on how I talk, and people think I'm illiterate based on how I talk. On paper, you could argue that I am literate on paper, so it would make sense that they would assume that oh, you can't spell. Oh, I'm not the best at spelling. I have what do you call it? I believe I've got either dyslexia or dyspraxia. I've got one of them. I'm quite intelligent. I say emotional intelligence. Not many people can psychoanalyze themselves or self-assess themselves. Trust me, phenomenon. Yeah, that is as rare as it comes. So like I said, these men just chose the wrong enemy. Just plain and simple. And the question is, yeah, did they know? And they tried to beat the system. Did they know, really? Like, possibly that they did knew. Possibly that they knew how smart I really was. I realized I'm just one of them type of people. Yeah? Because Tesla was good at engineering and stuff like that. Thomas Edison was good at relativity. Thomas Edison was good at relativity. Einstein was good at that as well and various other stuff. So all these men had their lanes, eh? And I mean they were looked at as geniuses. The reality of it is when it comes to psychology, trust me, my IQ is unmeasurable. You can never get an accurate read of my IQ. Why? Because I purposely do that. I purposely ensure that you can't figure out if I was taught this or do I just know it out of thin air. I purposely do that because they purposely try to play mind games with me. They purposely try to play mind games with me, and I'm just returning the favor in the nicest way. And I'm happy to know that they don't approve, and neither do I. They say all is fair, innit? Yeah, I said they just chose the wrong enemy. That's it. And I guess they probably knew I was smart, but did not know in what. I guess what capacity? Because I once seen this thing on social media. I once seen this thing on social media that says, if you test a man at something he doesn't know, does that make him a fool? So obviously, I think that wasn't at random. I think that was purposely. I think that was purposely laid bare, innit? Because it means they were testing me. So obviously, they were testing me at things. Testing me, like I say, I do think they knew something, but they couldn't. They didn't know what they knew. Yeah, I do think they knew, but they didn't know what or what level, where, how, what genre, industry. Yeah, I mean, I'd fall into. Last thing they thought it would be psychology. I mean, so all the tests were being done at, you know, what I mean, the general stuff. You know what I mean, what you understand, maths, quantum physics, spelling, blah blah blah. They were looking at it from a general point of view. With after they were looking at it as a general point of view. So yeah, he is kind of clever, but we don't know exactly how clever he is. So when questions started to be asked about what was going on, they thought, well, guess what? Test is over. We have to implode now. Yeah, I mean, they thought test is over. We have to implode now, and basically get him off the road. Then, but then that little part, then they now saw, oh shit, this is what he's good at. The truth is, I've never picked up a psychology book in my life. I never picked up a law book in my life. I don't. I'm not promoting the idea of not reading. I'm not. But I'm just saying, I just never done that. I've never sat in a law class ever. To me, it's just common sense, isn't it? And I guess that's where the genius comes into it. Because what I consider as common sense, in the words of some girl, that would burn other people's head off. But to me, it's just common sense to me. Yeah. Not bragging and showing off. It really isn't. It's not like I have anybody to, pop my collar for me and say, well done, lad. I haven't got nobody, so I've got to do it for myself. Mm-hmm. Well, you just pick the wrong enemy, it's just as simple as that. And yeah, my general knowledge is alright. For a man who don't read, I think my general knowledge is quite okay. Because most people who have very good general knowledge, they read a lot of books. So my general knowledge is quite fun. But trust me, in psychology, I excel at that shit. I've always been that way. You know what I mean? Because if you're facing a predator, or if you look at praise, how does a praise survive in the wild? Psychology. So rats, gazelles, things like these things in the wild, they've got to survive based on cunning. And cunning is just psychology, it's just tricking your opponent. Because guess what? They just be eating all the time. Because the prey is bigger, stronger, and faster. And from an evolutionary standpoint, it's built to hunt them. So evolution is a simple mechanic. Yeah. Evolution did not just evolve the predator by giving him speed, strength, and 69 rows of razor sharp teeth. It didn't just do that. It also made the prey smart too, because it had to make the prey smart. Because the predators would run out of food faster than they could eat it. And that's the reason why that's how evolution is. Evolution isn't one sided. Evolution is the most balanced thing in the world. And they talk about yin and yang. When they first came up with the concept of yin and yang, good versus evil, up and down, left, right, left versus right, night versus day, hot versus cold. So you can see all of these things are from an evolutionary standpoint. Where every time evolution does one thing, it balances out the other. So a bunch of people create a group to target and hunt one single individual. Yeah, cool. They're gonna get most of them, the prey. They're gonna get most of the target. But evolution will quickly realize that there's an imbalance. And then evolution will do what it does, is stop that predator from doing that all the time. And I'm just in an evolution of man. As sad as it is for some of humans to listen to you that I am superior. I love saying that. I actually love saying that. I know that gets under their skin, but I mean, I wish I could see them face when I say things like that. If I had $1 billion, I'd pay every penny to just see this guy's face. I hear me saying I'm superior, and then in his head he can't justify that it isn't. He'd have to concede. I think that would be a priceless moment, innit? That's a Fabergé egg for me. You get me? So man, we pay limitless amount, priceless amounts for paintings and that. I'd pay a priceless amount to see this guy's face. So yeah, that I'm saying I'm superior to him, and he has to sit there and bow down, knowing that it's true. It's funny. I say you man believe in Darwin, the Darwinian theory, and the Big Bang, but your man, the way you man think about it is a mind of it. You man are babies on that level. Y'all don't even understand the first thing about evolution. That every time it evolves the predator, it evolves the prey. Because then they'll run out of food. So every time the predator gets faster, the prey gets more agile. So if you look at cheetahs there, the cheetah is the fastest land animal next to I think an ostrich. Difference between an ostrich doesn't eat meat, an ostrich is a vegetarian. But technically the ostrich is a bird. So while evolution gave the ostrich unbelievable speed, it took away his flight. And it's weird, isn't it? It took away its flight while giving it speed. The same thing with the cheetah. It gave it unbelievable speed, but took away its stamina. And evolution is a funny thing like that. It does do that. It has these little jokes that it likes to play. Oh, we're gonna make you really fast, but guess what? You know, you won't run long enough anyway. So over a 30 meter dash. Oh, trust me, you catch anything. But anything farther than 30 meters, you'll be out of breath before you get there, mate. I mean, I tell you, God is a joke up to that. Trust me. God is a funny guy. I mean, he's really hilarious when you think about it. I'm saying the idea of a God to me is obvious. Because, like I say, if you look at evolution, evolution is clearly a sense of humor. Obviously, some people just don't understand it, but it's clearly a sense of humor that the creator has got. I mean, it clearly is a sense of humor. If you look around, look at evolution. If you look at evolution and think, oh, man from monkey and all that, that don't make sense. Because why are the other monkeys not transforming? Innit? And that is not my idea. I did see that somewhere, and it made sense to say, well, the other monkeys should have transformed. Sure, it is. In Jamaica, I've never heard about evolution. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard about man to monkey in Jamaica. it weren't a thing where we would say. It certainly weren't teach in any classes I attended. Let me refrain and put that quotation mark that say I attended. Maybe it was taught when I didn't or weren't in class. It certainly weren't any class I attended. I first heard about the Darwinian theory when I come into the UK. Only to find out that majority of the people believe that, or it would appear. I guess if a bunch of people surround you and they all believe that, you think everybody believes that. I mean, so, hmm. But like I say, look at the lions. You'd find everything the lion preys on is they are in the hundreds, isn't it? Everything the lion preys on is in the hundreds. So you'd find 100 zebras, 100 gazelles, hundreds this, that. But look at what the lion doesn't prey on. Look at the hippopotamus. Look at the rhino. You won't see hundreds of rhinos. You won't see hundreds of hippos. You won't see hundreds of elephants. You won't see hundreds of giraffes. Why? Because them things are technically not meant to be ate by the predator. I mean, they're technically not. So, like I say, God made evolution and He made it an irony, He made it a massive joke. Because when you see the lion, a pride of lion probably has a max 15 lions. And out of the 15, you're probably looking at 6, 7 fucking cubs at any one given point. One male lion and about 3, 4 female. Everything else is like cubs. And they get to choose from 100 different prey all bunched together. Yeah? If you look at that, that's irony, innit? Because get what, technically the lions are outnumbered, but the lion is the predator. So he's stronger, faster. He's not more intelligent, he's more instinctive. Yeah? So you can see the irony there, innit? And the gazelle, they all see the lion and they all go running, even though there's fucking more of them. Why? It's because they're more intelligent. I always say, oh, run away and live to fight another day. That's probably where it came from, the idea of animals. Because the lions would just eat them. If they all just stood there, the lions would just eat them all. And even you just bite them all, kill them all, and then that's it. There would be no more food for them. So obviously, evolution programmed the prey to run. That's it. Evolution programmed the prey to run. So that they are not just killed at once. And then the lion won't have any more food. Because lions don't always get the prey. Sometimes they get off. And if you watch enough of them, you realize that gazelles, they're actually smarter than I guess people would give them credit for. Because even a zebra is like a donkey, really. I mean, it's more of a donkey than an actual horse. So it's actually slower. It's actually slower than it probably should be for a four-legged creature at that height. But what did evolution do? It gave it a bunch of stripes that when they're all together, it looks like some psychedelic thing. You know? I mean, if you see a bunch of zebras together, it looks strange. You the pattern is like you can confuse you. Know? So obviously, what did they do? What did evolution do there? It made the fucking donkey gave it stripes. It's just I guess a jungle, not a jungle. What would you call it? Yeah, a jungle donkey. That's how I describe it. I mean, we all know like usual donkeys with big heads like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Well, a zebra is technically a donkey. They would have you believe it's more closer to a horse, but more closer to a donkey. Because if you listen to the sound it makes, it sounds more similar to what a donkey would make. And what did they do? Evolution put donkeys out in the jungle and the safaris. I think well, donkeys aren't really fast creatures compared to what's out there to hunt them. What it did, it gave it stripes that confuses the prey. If you go, there's fishes like that that does the same thing. Where the fish has certain things, certain colors and patterns that's designed to confuse the predator. Evolution, it's a big joke. Evolution is God joke on mankind. I say, oh, you man are going to evolve and build computers, build this, build that. Well, guess what? Every time you build something, it's not always smooth sailing. It has a problem. Everything you build will work, yeah. Everything has a fault. Mm. So you look at it from that level. How did I mess up? Evolution is one big joke. I don't really get why these people are so fascinated by it. It's a fascination I don't get. I just see it as irony. But it's literally playing a joke on us. So the predator evolves, the prey evolves. You lot think you are smarter? Guess what? It sends a predator just the same that acts like a prey, only to find yourself the prey. That's God for you, isn't it? A big joke, man. The irony. Innit? So the predator usually feels like, oh yeah, he's stalking, only to find out that he's been watched the whole time stalking. And certain times, if you watch National Geographic, you see certain things play out like that, where a lion or some sort of that tiger or something is stalking an animal, and the whole time the animal was quite aware that he was there the whole time doing it. And as soon as he tries to attack, he gets fucked up. Irony, yeah. God, he thought that he's a funny guy. You just have to get the joke, really. Yeah. I guess that's an inside joke, if the truth be told. You and I are not inside. Yeah, nobody's scared of the six, bro. It's just an inside joke, man. Look at it from that point. God is an ironic. Say how he's an enigma. No, he fucking isn't. He likes to make jokes. You see the idea to say, oh, certain things is disrespectful. That's mankind's interpretation of certain things. The reality of it is, God does make jokes himself. He wouldn't give humans sense of humor if he himself couldn't take a joke. Because where would he have got the idea from? If he's not a joker, if you weren't a joker, would you give somebody else the ability to make jokes? You'd just be setting up people, wouldn't you? You can imagine God made you a joker. You get to heaven, and you now crack a joke, and God kicks you out of heaven for a joke. He's obviously a joker himself. And it's just ironical that God is very much ironical, if that's even a word. And so is evolution. Evolution is one big irony. Every time one thing is evolves, it gets a period of time where it's the top predator, and then evolution either creates a different predator that's now higher than that one, and then guess what? Hmm. Then the prey starts evolving. Dinosaurs. I'm not particularly a big believer in dinosaurs, but there is some credibility to the argument. Like you have Komodo dragons and obviously crocodiles and alligators. You could argue that them things are dinosaurs, but not the proportion that we would see on TV. Because a dinosaur is just basically an ancient lizard. I don't know what the technical definition of it is, but to me, it's just the goddamn lizard that existed in various forms back in the day. So obviously, you can see snakes, anacondas could technically be classified in the same thing. Crocodiles, Komodo dragons, they are meat eating lizards. I mean, so you look at it from that point. Is it possible that dinosaurs did exist? It's possible they were fucking 19 foot tall like Godzilla. It is all possible. But do I 100% believe it? I'll leave that one to skepticism. It is possible, and that's about me. That's about it for me. But at the time, yeah, mankind was around, and the dinosaurs were at the top of the pyramid. So one dinosaur would terrify a village, and people would have to hide in the house, blah blah blah. So, and the T Rex was the top predator amongst the dinosaur, I guess, species. So you had various forms of the same. I don't even know what you would classify that creature as. I'm not quite sure what you would actually classify the creature as. But obviously, we all know what a T Rex is. So you had the what's it called? The raptors, the velociraptors. They have all these. They were basically mini T Rexes and middle size XL. So you have small, medium, large, extra large. So basically, it was like the same thing with the dinosaurs, the T Rex clan or group or species within the dinosaur species. Yeah. So you had a small, medium, large. They were all given different names. Yeah, but the dinosaur in itself, the T Rex in itself, was the top dog. But just like how we have rhinos and hippos and things like that, that meat eating or carnivores could not fuck with, they also had the same thing then. So you had the what's it called, Triceratops. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm just getting that name from Power Rangers. But anybody that watch Power Rangers, it's like a rhino with a goddamn exoskeleton for a face. Yeah. So it was basically what you'd see a rhino or a hippo looks like. So obviously a rhino's got like its skin is a bit thicker than the hippo, but basically it would take tremendous pressure to bite through that. The Triceratops was similar. I mean, it had like skin like a rhino's, but it had like an exoskeleton for a face. Or the T Rex could not eat that shit that he tried, you know. And one was the T Rex was a carnivore, and Triceratops was a herbivore, basically a plant eater. But he could not eat that shit that he tried. One, it's stronger. Two, it's got a thicker skin. And it's got an exoskeleton on top of it. So you can see how irony played a part. So a meat eater, you just think a meat eater would able to if you look at it, if you translate it like a relative point to human beings. So a a bloodthirsty human being, you would expect to win a fight against a passive Christian person that wouldn't harm a fly. So you can look at them like that. So the T Rex would be the bloodthirsty brute, the barbarian, the savage, and the Triceratops would be a well evolved, groomed man that wears a suit. I mean, so you would think the in a fight the bloodthirsty brute would win. But in that case, they weren't winning. In that case, they definitely were winning. And that's what I'm saying. It's the nature of evolution. It's a joke. It's full of so much irony and situations that you'd think, oh, you expect that predator to win all the time. But then it will just create this random fucking passive ass animal that turn around to kick that predator's ass more often than nothing. It's just irony. I say, God, he's a joker. He likes to play mental games. I cannot believe what I just saw. But yeah, that's what it's like, innit? So you man just fell into one of them situations yourself, innit? You man are the predators and you're talking about your sharks. Nigga, I don't know about you. I don't know what animal sharks can't defend. If you man are a shark, I'm a dolphin, my nigga. Trust me on that one. And dolphins beat sharks quite a lot. I mean, dolphins beat sharks. And even a shark, yeah, the most ironic thing about sharks is that the biggest shark known to mankind and out there is what is called a whale shark. Humongous thing. It's as big as a humpback whale. Or that I can't remember that other whale called. It's got that weird thing on the. He usually got what they call it, barnacles on it. I can't remember what that's called. A whale shark is almost as big as one of them. It's technically a shark, but it doesn't eat flesh. It eats plankton. It eats like little things, which, like I say, irony, because what we know as a shark, evolution gave that bitch 14 rows of razor sharp teeth. But then you look at a whale shark, the biggest shark is, it eats fucking vegetables. Like, what is that about? That is a joke. Like, you must sit in heaven and just sit there and laugh at people, mankind. Just I say that. I find that got entertaining because I'm thinking, like, what were you thinking when you did that? I can't see it as nothing but an absolute joke against us because he thought, well, one day they'll discover a whale shark because we'd come across like your great white sharks and stuff like that. So I reckon the great white shark was the first discovered, and then they probably discovered hammerheads. I reckon what's it called now? The whale shark was the last to be discovered because that would just make the irony even worse. Innit? So oh yeah, we see all these sharks, all predators, this predators, that, blah blah blah. Everyone's scared of the shark, blah blah blah. I got that goes all right, and oh, I know he just went and threw one of them whale sharks in the water and allowed somebody to discover. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? And they were shocked to find out exactly about the sharks. Something crazy that. Innit? Yeah, his irony is a massive joke. Sometimes you could argue that it does take the piss. Yeah, that went through my player then. Yeah, I just saw that. So I'm saying instead of look, it turned out to be what an attack. If he scores, look at that, yeah. So like I say, while I'm here chatting, this thing people would say, "Oh, he planned this, he set us up." Oh, no, I didn't. Just like I'm here chatting off my mouth, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm actually doing. I still noticed that. So it went through Abangayang's butt and popped out the other side. And you would not have noticed that if I did not point that out. So you can see Edison missed the ball. I clearly saw. He missed the ball. Yeah. Edison's arms within the ball. Edison's arms went through the ball. It's now the back of it. I clearly saw it. I saw. And that's how it works. You're gonna hate it. Because guess what? I'm here playing the game, I'm chatting shit. There's no way my brain should pick up that while doing all this as well. I do know why you man are doing what you're doing. I'm just a superior person. I am the next evolution to mankind. You know what I mean? Hey! I'm just the next evolution to mankind. But there's nothing human can do about it. Human have reigned for too long, and evolution just rectified the situation, plain and simple. So watch this, yeah? So this happened. I see just like before. He missed it through his arms there, popped out through his butt, and popped out through his butt, popped out through his butt. Okay, all that went through. Watch this now. Yeah, wait, yeah, where is it now? There it is. So he saw that fuzzy shit in it. It's not meant to be like that. Like I say, anybody that thought they're questioning how, you just saw how. I can do a million things at once and still notice. I can literally mind my business and not even be note taking, not even putting you as a priority and still notice the things you've done. You know what I mean? Just like I was there talking and just generally playing, I still saw that. That's how it really works. And human, there's nothing human can do to create that. Because I am a evolution by itself. And then I should change my name to Mitsubishi Lancer, the truth to be told. I really should. Hey, hey, hey. I wanna go down with it. There's no changing, there's no multiple personalities where one's a fug and one's smart. I'm all one person, just simply more clever than everyone. And I learned that sometimes you have to fight. You have to, doesn't matter what it is, you have to fight sometimes. I'm also clever enough to know to understand that. It's not that oh his personality is changing. My personality don't change. Smart enough to know that you have to defend yourself no matter what it costs you in the end. Because if you're not around to cry and claim you were a victim, then does it matter if you were a victim? No, it doesn't. But one of them people that so know that sometimes violence is necessary. What did I just keep going behind? Oh god. So I see you won't allow me to control the ball. Yeah, so his song bent it around mine key straight to like I say, EA will have to justify. There has to be a justification for why one goes in and one doesn't. I mean, EA would have simply have to justify why would Song goes in from that angle. Didier Drogba obviously scored more goals in his time than Song has. No disrespect to Song. Didier Drogba is an icon card. So why in God's name would Didier Drogba shot not going to the back of the net? He's got 90 shooting and Song's got less. Didier Drogba is stronger, as obviously he's an icon, which means he's got history. By this definition, should be a better card. So what really was the reason for fucking Song going in at that angle and Didier Drogba was going straight to the keeper? Like I say, he would simply has to have a explanation, however how technical or not. They will still be able to have to explain what makes that decision. Because if they can't explain what makes that decision, then questions have to be asked. It's only logical, isn't it? Questions would have to be asked about it. I mean, I probably shouldn't shoot no games. Yeah, but questions should have to be asked because I don't care if Son has finesse shot, outside foot shot. That should only be visible in certain specific situations. Yeah, I mean, in certain, but more often than not, I don't seem to be able to unlock these situations. But the opponent always does. So you notice, did it show the save? No. Was it that? Was it that? No, it's not that. No, it didn't even show it. I'm telling you, it's suspicious. It's suspect, yeah. Yeah, because he's on like this, yeah. I'm saying it's suspect, yeah, because I'm telling you what makes the game not put that in the selection. You know what I mean? The decisions that the game's making that I think more often than not go against me in every way, shape, or form seems to be quite ordinary. So, right, so the ball's there, yeah? Ball's there, cool. Song takes the touch, right? Takes the touch. Right, cool, fair enough. This would happen in real life, can't argue. I just think it happens too much. Yeah, Van Dijk refuses to turn around. He just refuses. So then he makes his tackle. You'd expect at least a foul from that. Innit? Yeah, so he somehow overrides the tackle. Like I say, he should have made a bad touch here. Van Dijk technically put him off. So again, you can see his leg going into the ball. It should have put him off. A bad tackle should have been made. And Blanc would have just swept it up or he would have told it away. Cool, yeah? So again, ball through his foot again. So watch it from this point. Yeah. I'll tell you that it goes everything here went against me. Then it saved his fucking my guy shot from the 6 yard box. And then the replay doesn't put it in there. So even the evidence now goes against me. Like I said, what is making these decisions that constantly go against me? So then through his legs, two bad touches. Long could have just swept it up. Alright, cool. So look at the situation there. I mean, the keeper still hasn't died. And then look at the keeper, the way he died. So look at where the ball passed him. Look at where it dies. The ball was not even going to that direction. So like I said, EA would have to explain why my game selects the animation so often. And it's not like the ball shot past him so fast that he was late to dive or his reactions were shit. He's using his body to fucking, he's putting his arms in front of his chest. Well, I just find it suspicious that that replay wasn't there because you would think that there's no way Song gets that shot up and scores it, and my player misses it. He's at a more acute angle. He's acute, the word, yeah, acute. Like I say, this is just merely evolution. Man. To you people, it must be mad to witness it, but you will never be able to replicate it. And it's just one of them things in life you will never have it. It was never meant for you. I'm just a warning. It's nothing but that. Like, you man don't go take it too far. Innit? Merely a warning. What they call it, an omen. Yeah, that's it. And I'm an omen, but merely an omen. The things that you man are out here doing. Just look at it from that point of view. You man couldn't beat me. things that you're out here trying to create, are you going to be able to beat that? Like I say, God likes an irony, and He likes to play games. He probably knows the decisions your man are going to make. Well, I think we all know the decisions you man are going to make in the end. That ultimately leads the revelation to be true. Ultimately, we be that. Innit? 'Cause I guess you man down here saying you're going to defy God. Why? Because you don't believe it. You think it's a big joke. I would say it's subtle reminder, you know. I say God likes an irony, but you know that the old bullshit thing, when somebody tells you something and then you don't listen, you go, "I told you so." If you look at it like that, that's what God's doing. It's an irony. He knows exactly what you man are gonna do anyway. Only will fulfill what he was saying anyway. So he's going to use your arrogance against you people, even after showing you that what he did right in front of your faces. Knowing that, well, you man don't believe in none of this thing. And it's your own actions that's going to make it real. Irony, innit? I mean, trust me, irony. But Darwin was onto something, he just didn't know what he was onto. Mhm. Oh, what was he called? I don't even know his full name, man. Anytime I try and remember his full name, I always said Darwinian theory. I can't remember what it's called, Darwin something or something Darwin. This guy isn't gonna give me the free goal, he's just gonna quit. He's a Manchester United player, he knows my account, knows who I am, he's just gonna quit and not give me free goal. That's just reverse psychology, by the way. Let's see how he plays out. Who gets the kick off first? Him. Watch him kick away the ball. He's gonna pretend to kick it in the back, he's gonna kick it away and then quit. So I notice he's not tackling me. I notice he's not tackling me. I'm just looking for some sort of space through the centre of the pitch. Yep, he's gonna quit now. You know, if he's not tackling, but look how hard the AI is behaving. Told you they can't win. They know they can't win. Because when I put my controller down, man, walk past me like it might as well not be there. I might as well play with one striker on the pitch and everybody on the bench. But just continuously concede. Uh, Dead dolls. Yeah. I say, God is ironic, loves an irony. And guess what? He sent a bunch of people who don't believe in him to come and fuck around here. Now have you rethink your whole lives and existence and everything you man believe. I mean, that's what God is like. And it's funny. It's funny. That's what I'm saying. When man and plan gotta laugh. That's what that's saying. Is the accurate saying is when man's planning, God's wiping. That's the accurate saying. But man, you make a change, and man plan gotta laugh because he knows you're a joker. You do things just to prove your point, innit? I'm in no way, shape, referring to myself as any sort of a god more than the thunder god. I'd like to hear how you people, what you people write down about that. You all clearly didn't hear about Elephant Man. You know, I don't like about these people. So the advert says, "Oh, Red Bull gives you wings." Yeah. Well, why they don't go on? lock them people up in hospital who made that slogan. Because that's clearly delusions of grandeur if I've ever seen them. I mean, that is clearly delusions of grandeur if I've ever seen them. I mean, uh, these guys, like I say, I know for a fact, I know your mind state and all the type of people you are, based on your actions, I guess your sexuality and your religious beliefs. One could ask, I kind of had a pre-existing blueprint of the situation. Uh, the ideology part, I could see why it would make sense, but the orientation part, that's where I probably think human are most concerned in how did I get that? I do think that. It's because the things that human do, the things that human do. People don't just believe in that. People don't just do that like on that level. You know what I mean? People just don't do it like that because me believing in God, human are trying to prove that I am going to think all this random stuff and believe oh the world's ending and all that. But in the year 2000, how many people around the world was waiting for the clock to stop? Like I say, this is why human will lose in that court because I guess usually the defendant doesn't know how to defend the stuff or the things that have been said. But millions of people in the year 2000, millions of people sat waiting for the world to end. I mean, there's been many occults around the world who believe in the end of time. There are plenty of men who are stockpiling ammunition and rifles and food and bunkers, believing that the world will end. So I don't really understand what human were up to, which kind of gave away what was really going on by its very definition. Is that human had something, planned, some pre-planned situation against me. That's what it really comes down to for me. It was preordained to happen. It wasn't by chance. It wasn't a mistake. It was planning. Hmm. And this was all planning because the things that human justified it with would easily be the debunk. I said, well, plenty of other people do believe these weird stuff too. Why is it such a big deal to you, man? So it was just meant to use as cover for your actions. And ultimately, that's what got human into this situation. Because, like I say, I'm smart enough to know that sometimes you got to kick ass, innit? Doesn't make you a violent person in nature. Just means sometimes you got to. And this is one of them things where I think it's quite logical to fuck human up for listening. But no one win anyway. I guess it makes it easier to make that decision. No? It's like human did it for the same reason, thinking human were going to win anyway. So I guess there's irony. Like I said, God is a joker, a massive one as well. Nobody knows the future. Nobody knows how things will play out. I'm gonna hold the same disposition or position that human held, believing that you would win. But I lose in the end, it really wouldn't matter. I'm still going to behave just like human did to show you how human look. It's like looking in a mirror, innit? Like they said about Sheldon, it's like looking in an obnoxious mirror, seeing yourself and realizing you man are cunts after all. Right? I guess you don't care, man. I guess what? I don't care either. Fuck off. We can all not care, but we can all be arrogant. Who wins, wins. Who lose, lose. I'm a fair guy. I give you man your chances just the same. I guess the villain telling his plans has never been the wisest strategy, but whatever. I'll tell you my plan. At least you get a fair shot. And y'all weren't good enough anyway. And y'all got caught out so badly. I decided, I feel a bit sorry for you, man, for being living a lie. Yeah, but you might live a lie, but I'm led to believe you had a chance here. So I'm giving you man a fair chance by doing the things you're saying, half of the things you say. I'm giving you a fighting chance. Ultimately, knowing I'll win anyway. 'Cause I'm obviously more smarter than you, man. I actually haven't made a change in like 10 games. I'm so distracted. You know what I mean? I'm not even paying attention to the game. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil and you shall appear. I literally not made one change in the 10 games I've played. Or at least I don't think I have. I can't remember doing it. Alright, Drogba. Sure many. He's about 8-1, 8-7, 8. I'll go with Loftus Street. Petit. I'm kind of not like, feeling Petit. Who's first? Petit is better than sure many. I wish I did. I so wish I did my guy. I kind of regret not doing that Juventus guy. Another French Juventus kid. Oh, sure many. To be honest, I didn't even check it. Anyway, come on, let's get this. So that's a bad sign. Bad omen, mate. Bad omen, bad omen, bad omen. Yep, I know. Bad omen. Bad omen. Who is that girl? Oh, him. Don't fall him. Mm. What is up there? I saw Kapi just winning the ball all the time for no reason. Just leave him out there. Leave him out. Force him to go for that. Uh, that card, that him card is pretty good. Yeah. I ain't killing myself over this game, but these guys have no business winning. I don't think Blanc should have got that. Blanc should have lost out on that 50-50 there. I see. Before, for some reason, they have done something to, the passing, like the pace of the passing. There's something wrong with it. Because I can see I passed that ball, and Van Dijk was able to run and chase her down before chase that player down before I could control that ball. And that don't make sense because I can't control the weight of the passing. So look at where Van Dijk is there. Yeah. One touch. Look at the Van Dijk is not even running. Yeah, so the pass was already made before her. So that's how slow it is. So like I said, the game constantly screws me over with these touches. More often than not. Look, he just perfectly drops it. And then look at Van Dijk's leg. Instead of deflecting off, instead of deflecting off, he keeps control of that ball. And then look at that. How why did Blanc not head the ball, fly kick the ball, something. Like I said, the intent is to drag EA out of the shadow. So since EAFC, C with FEA, I forced them to explain what's the decision making process there. Because it's clearly constantly against me. I know why you man can never do anything. That's crazy, but this hem card is pretty good, most of the minute. So, I'll tell you, it's constantly against me. So I'd like to know where is it, how is this game better than me? So I'm losing games for things that's not in my control. And you can say, oh Lord, grant me the serenity to be okay with the things that I cannot control and all that. Alright, cool. You spend £500 on a fucking console and 60 quid on a game and you can't control it. So why did I buy that? Why did I buy it? I mean, so we're looking at £560 for it to be controlled by some white guy in some fucking house somewhere. So I think that's a scam. If you, I've never seen a scam before. That is what you call a scam, man. I was robbed of £560. So that's no difference to a dating scam. So some Nigerian guy ringing some old woman and pretending to be in love with her and taking away our life savings. And the government go, oh, he's such terrible, blah blah blah. And she comes out and cries. hmm She comes out and cries. And everybody, all the white people in this country feel sorry for the poor little lady. Alright, cool, fair enough. So my £560 clearly being robbed here. I'd like my £560 back. You know what I mean? And I'd like that British scammer to go to prison. But trust me, the intent is to paint you as a scammer whether you like it or not. You are clearly a scammer. So the intent was, can you imagine if I was pumping money into this game? Imagine if I weren't somebody who pay attention to details and notice these little weird things that are going on while I'm playing. And believe that, oh, it's because my team shit. Oh, I mean, blow two, 3,000, 4,000 pounds on the game. I mean, it could not be where the police said, have you lost any money? Yeah, I lost quite a lot of money. It's clearly being scammed. I lost £560, not to mention all the money I've used on packs. So trust me, I lost money, and they were definitely told that I have lost money. I haven't heard from them since. You must have no chance. No. What kind of special branch and operation this is that you man are doing here? And then nobody in their right mind could authorize something like that. Mm. But if you think I've got a gun and I've got some secret plan against Britain, I guess British people robbing my money would only infuriate me to use that weapon against it. So I don't understand where the plan came into play. Because could you catch me before I fired that clip? I don't think so. Not even, I don't care who you are. You could be a veteran sniper. You ain't getting at me before I fire off them shots. You'd be waiting on that rooftop for ages. I say live up there at this point. I say man cannot win though. Really, what I should really do is pump money into the game. I said that EA was a part of the scam. I really should, but I'm not going to do that. But that would just mean I won't have the liquid cash. Simple enough. I'd rather have the liquid than wait for the down the road. I mean, you never know when I have to buy two fake passports and jump on a ferry out of England. Head to Russia. That's funny. Is it gonna be outside? Bye. I mean, why did he a fake shot? Just fake shot. A fake shot cancelled. Yeah, just fake shot and keep going. He went on his left foot. I say the decision making process in this game completely out of my control. I mean, what's causing that? Innit? Some of these causing, like I said, EAF themselves, but just like the rest of you did. Somebody's taking an L, whether you might like it or not. I won't stop till I ensure that. Doesn't matter what kind of stunt I've got to pull here. If I've got to build a fake thing that looks like a bomb and put it in the middle of the hand there, like, trust me, but there's nothing you man can do about it. But, what are they gonna say? Oh, he's creating terror and panic. Just charge us for it. We want a real bomb. Can't charge somebody for something you thought was something it wasn't. It's life, yeah. So V is what? Well, V X is 10. Yeah, X is 10. Yeah, so he got that. So at the start of the video, that guy got rank 5. Yeah, I'm a better player than him. Way out of his even capacity. He got rank 5 and I got rank 6. So clearly being robbed. Robbed of my joy, fun, and happiness. I mean that is compensation territory, yeah. Because when people talk about their distress and how distressing a situation was, you get paid out for that alone, never mind the rest of the stuff. So we're looking at a hefty payout here. So watch and see me get another set of 84 again. This has happened to me every weekend league so far. I just keep getting 84 of this. Watch another set of 84s again. Fast for a bitch. Should have took the deal Lorenzo, really. I needed it for that. So last week I got 7 wins. No, last week I got 6 wins. 7 wins. No, six. Yeah, last week I got 6 wins. This week I've got nine. 9 and 6. It's 59 and 7. 16. Last week I got 7 wins. Mm-hmm. Shit now. 83 times 20. I'll leave that there for a minute. 83 times. I'll leave that as well. I'll go for the follow up. At some point, they're going to come out with a good SPC that I really want to do. I looked at that Mbappe, but can't tie up everything in that one card. Way too much. Advent calendar, Eric by, I'll finish by. Never going to use them though. By radioactive cup. I can't be playing on that one. 4 o'clock. Seasonal. Uh-huh. 500. What's this? Daily objective. 50. Same. Saving to give. Bonus play. Oh, so tired. Uh, oh, God. So, another duplicate again. Okay, not sure. Not sure. What's that? If I ever go play upon, go on them. Man, if it's a school boy, good thing I didn't pick him for. I'd be crying about hindsight and all that. I'll put that on. Okay. I said, yes, 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 I've got him. I've got him. I've got a whole visually tradable. Oh. Right, so him, Barcelona, good. Okay. Evolution. Uh, so this guy on the just it goes up to 84, 688. That should be a better, but it doesn't have any. So it gets what technical playstyle. Well, he doesn't get any playstyle plus. But it should be a better card than Blanc. Because he's got the same pace. Blanc's got what, 90 defending. And Blanc's got 90 defending. He's passing and stuff is shit. And he can play cam as well, so I don't really think that's a bit odd. And he's got more what's going on? Wait, so how am I gonna do this now? So special. Is that what? French. Yeah. So Blanc, he's better than Blanc. Blanc just got that playstyle. My guy had 79, 73, 73 shooting, passing, and dribbling. And Blanc's a cam as well. That don't even make sense. Because he can play cam. That's weird. Such weird. Just strange card. Well, the card's better. He just doesn't have that playstyle. He got what, 86. He got one more pace. Better passing, dribbling, um, one less defense, one more physical. I'll give him a try. At the very least, he's gonna be fodder. It is released, so yeah, it comes up to that. Yeah, Blank's got better shooting, and three more dribbling, but better card. I crack on with that one. So yeah, I got that. I was looking at that. 83. Oh, fuck that. SBC. Should I do it? I don't know. Wait for time. Not much going on there. I'm interested. I got blank. I'm fucking high compact. If I wanted blank, I would have done that. So shit. I'm not really interested in anything going on there. Who's this guy? Has he got 4 star, 4 star? I'm sure many technically a better card. Dijon better. I've got Petty, I've got Wixel. Kind of a waste of time. Yeah, no need. Useless. Schmeichel, waste of time, waste of time. Oh shit, crap. Um, shit. The better. I keep forgetting to use Nugby. Every time I see him, I keep my being Nugby. Let's see what's going on with them bucket. Hey, hey, hey. 85, 385, 386, 487, 587, 488. It happens. That's a double. And empty my whole club and then not be able to finish that. Yeah, alright. Oh, fucking pay out and okay.